Bobby Womack was an influential American soul singer, songwriter, and guitarist, known for hits like Across 110th Street and If You Think You're Lonely Now. Womack's career was marked by musical brilliance, personal struggles, and a powerful comeback late in life. Here's some known and less known facts about his life and career. Born March 4, 1944, in Cleveland, Ohio, Womack began singing gospel music with his brothers in the group The Womack Brothers, later renamed the Valentinos under the guidance of Sam Cooke, who signed them to his label and helped them cross over into R&B. The band also contained Friendly Womack Jr., Curtis Womack, Cecil Womack, and Harry Womack. They had hits like Lookin' for a Love and It's All Over Now, later made famous by the Rolling Stones, giving them their first UK #1 hit. The Valentinos' career was left shaky after Sam Cooke was shot and killed in a Los Angeles motel in December 1964, devastated by the news the brothers disbanded and Cooke's SAR Records folded shortly after. However, just 3 months after Sam Cooke's death in 1964, Bobby Womack married Cooke's widow, Barbara Campbell, when Womack was only 20 years old. Cooke had been a mentor and father figure to Womack, which made the marriage highly controversial. Many fans and the music community saw this as a betrayal. David Cooke and other Cooke family members physically assaulted him. Bobby later confirmed this in interviews, saying, "They beat me up pretty bad, I deserved it." As a result, Womack was ostracized, booed on stage, and radio stations stopped playing his music for a time. Years later, Womack began an affair with Barbara's daughter, Linda Cooke, who was also Sam Cooke's biological daughter. When Barbara found out, she allegedly shot at Bobby, narrowly missing him. She filed for divorce the next day. To make things even more complicated, Linda Cooke would later marry Bobby's brother Cecil. Together, they formed the band Womack and Womack, perhaps most famous for their hit single Teardrops from 1988. Bobby continued to work as a session musician. Between 1965 and 1968, he toured and recorded with Ray Charles. He also worked with Aretha Franklin and Joe Tex. His work as a songwriter caught the ear of music executives after Wilson Pickett took a liking to some of Womack's songs and insisted on recording them. Among the songs were I'm a Midnight Mover and I'm in Love. He contributed vocals and guitar work on the Family Stone's accomplished album There's a Riot Goin' On. He also penned Breezing, later a hit for George Benson, and the ballad Trust Me for Joplin on her album Pearl. In fact, Womack was one of the last people to see Joplin alive, having visited her hours before she died at the Landmark Hotel in Los Angeles, California. Womack's breakthrough came in 1971 with the album Communication, featured the hit That's the Way I Feel About Cha and Harry Hippie, a tribute to his free-spirited brother. 1 year later, Womack was at the peak of career, releasing the music for the blaxploitation film Across 110th Street. The title track became popular during its initial 1972 release and Woman's Gotta Have It, 1972, a soulful plea that hit #1 on the R&B chart. Womack's blended soul, gospel, blues, funk, and rock. His rough, expressive voice and raw honesty in lyrics made him stand out. He also played guitar on his records, rare for a frontman in soul at the time, but soon tragedy was going to stuck him again. Womack began using drugs in the 1970s, at the height of his solo fame. As his success grew, so did the pressure and access to drugs. He later admitted that cocaine became a daily habit. His addiction led to erratic behavior in public and on stage. Missed recording sessions and business opportunities. Paranoia, depression, and isolation. On March 9, 1974, Harry, the youngest brother who was living with Bobby at the time, was attacked by his jealous girlfriend, attacking him in a fit of rage, mistakenly believing he was cheating on her after finning women's underwear in his room. She used a kitchen knife to stab him, and he died sadly from the wounds. The underwear she found was not Harry's but Bobby's. Bobby was devastated. Harry was not only his brother but also a close musical partner. Harry had played bass and sung background vocals in the Valentinos and on Bobby's solo records. This incident only led Bobby deeper into depression, and addiction. 1978, Bobby found his baby boy lifeless in his crib on the tour bus. The loss was especially devastating for him, as it was so sudden and unexpected. The infant died in his sleep, and the cause was suspected to be sudden infant death syndrome. He looked like a little angel lying there. I couldn't believe he was gone. This personal tragedy contributed to Bobby's emotional struggles and worsened his addiction to cocaine, which had already begun affecting his life by the late 1970s. In 1981, Womack signed with Beverly Glen Records and had his first R&B toppy, 10 single in 5 years since the 1976 single Daylight, with If You Think You're Lonely Now, one of his all-time best and most loved songs. His accompanying album The Poet includes Secrets and Where Do We Go From Here, reached #1 on the R&B album charts, and is now seen as the high point of his long career. In 1986, Bobby Womack was once again struck by tragedy when his firstborn son, Truth Bobby Womack Jr., died by suicide at the age of 18. Throughout most of the 1980s, Womack struggled with a worsening addiction. During this period, his career slowed down significantly, partly as a result of his drug usage. Towards the end of the 1980s, he went into a rehabilitation center to get over his cocaine addiction, which he said finally conquered. Although his years of mainstream success had passed, Womack continued to influence the music world, release new material, and maintain a strong following. His health began to decline, with diabetes and other health problems becoming a major concern. The 1990s were also a period when Womack was less active musically, focusing on battling personal demons such as addiction while trying to maintain his family life. In the early 2000s, Bobby Womack began to find success again through collaborations with other artists. He worked with musicians like The Roots, who were heavily influenced by his work. The Roots featured him on their album Things Fall Apart, 1999, which introduced his music to a younger audience. In 2012, the album The Bravest Man in the Universe was produced by Damon Albarn from Blur. It marked a powerful and critically acclaimed comeback for the legendary soul singer after more than a decade away from recording. Bobby Womack died on June 27, 2014, at the age of 70. His health had visibly declined in the years leading up to his death. His death was met with an outpouring of grief and respect from across the music world. His music, from classics like Across 110th Street to his haunting, late-career album, continues to inspire generations. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2009, recognizing his lasting impact on American music.